Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Derek Calvert. I'm the program manager for the Montana Educational Talent Search. And we are starting a new series. It's the first of a new series that we have going on here. As you know, we bring you info on careers and colleges and just exploring the ins and out of that world. And so we're starting this series to broadcast TRIO student support services and other TRIO programs across the state of Montana, just to let you know what's all out there. With the Montana Educational Talent Search being a TRIO program, we love TRIO, and we just want to really represent that and give a shout out to all the other programs out here. So we are joined here today by Darlene Sampson, who is the director of TRIO Student Support Services at the University of Montana. Darlene, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit more?
Sure, yes. Thanks, Derek. I'm really excited to be here today. As Derek mentioned, my name's Darlene Sampson, and I'm the director of TRIO Student Support Services at the University of Montana. I've actually been the director for 8 years, going on 9, and I've actually worked in this program at this university for 29 years. So we have a long history of student success, and actually the program has been on this campus for 47 years. So we've been around for a long time. But you might be wondering, well, what is TRIO Student Support Services? As Derek mentioned, we always say we are a sister program or a brother program to Educational Talent Search and other Upward Bound, TRIO McNair programs in the state of Montana. But we're a program that's federally funded like ETS. So we write a proposal, and then if we get funded, we receive a grant to provide support services for students who qualify at the collegiate level. And that qualification is probably much like ETS is in the fact that you have to be a first-gen student who is income eligible, or a student with a disability. Any one of those three things makes a student eligible. And so as I mentioned, we're here to support that student population. So with our funding, we are right now, this year, we're in our second year of 5-year funding. And we're funded to serve only 375 students. Might seem like a lot, but in essence, it really isn't in comparison to the data that I was looking at prior to writing my last proposal. At the University of Montana alone, we've had consistently over the last 5 to 6 years around 2,400 first-gen students alone. So we take students until we reach that number, and then the services.
Do you find that you consistently reach that number each year, Darlene?
We do. Okay. It was a little borderline last year with the pandemic because obviously everything went remote, but we did reach our numbers. But normally we have no problem. This year we are just, at this time of the year, we're still recruiting students, and we're pretty much maxed out right now. So it's been a good year for that. So
Great.
What are the services that we provide? First and foremost, I think one of the big services is that we provide is we have 6 staff, and 4 of us are actually professional advisors. And so advising, we know, and the research shows that it can really be one of the most important services you receive when you go to college. And that just doesn't mean we're helping you pick classes, but we, as a staff, know a lot about policies and procedures and academic programs and curriculum and faculty and all of that that's embedded in that, along with even financial aid. So financial aid is a big one that we work with students often with. So when you hear the word FAFSA and somebody tells you to complete it in a certain time frame, get it done, get it in, because we all, as a first-gen low-income student myself, when I went to college, having financial support was a big one for me. And there's a lot of things, a lot of jargon that goes around financial aid, but that's what we're here for, is to help students file a FAFSA, understand your award, help you with scholarships. We don't want you to accumulate a lot of loan debt. And so financial aid is a big one that we help students with. And then we have tutoring, free tutoring for our students. And tutoring at the college level is a smart strategy. And we really try and tell students that you shouldn't be embarrassed about getting tutoring at all, because at the college level, even the straight A students come for tutoring. So really important aspect. We teach actually 4 classes for credit on campus. Our big course that a lot of students enroll in is called Learning Strategies for Higher Education. And it's a class that teaches you how to be a good student at the college level. And you might think that you're coming from high school with, all the best study skills that you think you have. But when you come to college, it's a whole different ball of wax. So we teach a class that's built around that, teaching you how to be a good student at the college level. We teach a freshman, it's called the freshman seminar course. I actually teach that course. We're coming up to about our 11th week of that course, and it's a course that ends early, but that's really a fun class for me to teach. I love it. And then we teach a peer mentoring course, so students who come through our doors and they want to help normally it's freshmen or sophomores with academic or personal issues. The peer mentors are there as a peer to help navigate and guide you as well. And then that's a 1 credit course that we teach. And then if you become a peer mentor, it's a paid position. So kind of a win-win for students. And then the last class that we teach is we teach what's called the College to Career Success course. And that's a class that helps students understand what they can do with their major. It's also a class that if you don't know what major you want to enroll in, the class incorporates a lot of different types of assessments. You do career exploration and planning activities, and then you do the practical side of that as well with job search strategies, building a fantastic looking resume, understanding how to job search, and interviewing techniques, all of those practical things. So those are 4 courses that we teach. And then
those are really great.
Yeah, and then we have what we call academic success coaching. So if you're the type of student who maybe needs the motivation to meet with someone weekly to help you stay on track or get your homework done, or anything, maybe helping you with understanding how to write a paper, anything academically and or personally, our academic success coach, Elise Lastar, works with students one-on-one primarily to help you be a successful student at the college level. And then let's see,
Darlene, just a follow-up question on those, or actually more of a comment. Something that a lot of high school students coming into college, high school is very, you have a lot of people walking you through it. They're like, hey, go here, go there, do this, do that. When you get to college, it often falls on the high school student, just a huge learning gap. But what I hear from you, Darlene, too, is just that it's like, enrolling in SSS, at the University of Montana, there's all these services and all these benefits, of being able to be part of the program, and that you're not doing it alone, that you can bounce ideas, you can ask questions. It's not just this independent journey on your own going into college, which it can definitely feel like, especially for first generation college students.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You make a really good point there, Derek, is that no question is a dumb question when you come to TRIO. I even think about my years. I was afraid to talk to a faculty member. It wasn't until I was a junior in college, because sometimes we just don't know the questions to ask. And that's what I think we do as a staff here. And many of our students oftentimes tell us that this is a home for them, that they feel comfortable, that they can come here with any types of questions or concerns or need for services, that they know that they can find it here. And so, and that's exactly what we want to do, is make students feel like you belong here, because we all do. You just have to put in the work for it to do it. So.
And we have a question from a viewer here too. I'm just going to pop up on the screen. just so that you can see it. It's from Jeannie.
Mhm.
Should students apply to SSS in August for services?
Absolutely. And actually, Jeannie, what we did this past year, which was a little bit different, is that when students apply to the University of Montana, there are a couple things that they have to do prior to coming. And one of those is that when you answer a question, what we call an academic interest questionnaire, and if you say that you're interested in TRIO, you will hear from us within a couple weeks. So we reach out to students, and we actually had students applying as early as last May, and then we take applications throughout the summer. And we have that online at our website.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good question.
And so, Darlene, I know you were talking about all about the services,
Mm-hmm.
and I imagine you were going to jump into some other things that you had planned to share.
Sure.
I don't want to stop you from what you were about to say though.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I did want to share that, everything that we do is really kind of personalized to the students. So whatever a student's needs might be or what we're trying to address. But we do have some other services that are not funded by the grant. Our grant is very different in like from ETS in the fact that we cannot purchase any personal items for students. So we couldn't buy a pen or a book, but I've written some other grants and received some other money, and so we provide a book loan program. So every student who participates in the program has the opportunity to apply. And normally, what we do is every semester we try and give each student who applies at least 2 textbooks, more if we have those on our shelves. And that can be a big savings for students as well. And then we have technology that we can provide. We have laptops, we have iPads, we have smart pens, what we call iClickers, graphing calculators. And then we have when you come to college, sometimes you have these forms that you have to use to take exams called Scantrons and Blue Books, and so we give those to our students as well. So those are just some of the extras that we can provide.
oh, some great extras there. I mean, I know books can cost quite a bit, so just being able to uh, apply to that. Is there uh, do a lot of students get accepted, and or is there some pretty is it pretty strict? What's the
For the book loan, you mean?
Yeah, for the book loan?
No, actually, we ask students when they come in, primary obligation is to utilize our services, and we like to see at least 3 contacts per semester, which is real easy to do if you're enrolled in any of our classes or you come to tutoring. There have been some studies done about tutoring across campus, and the most recent one was done last year through our business department. And the magic number that they found for a number of hours for tutoring that most students would succeed and pass a course was that if you use tutoring 8 hours throughout the semester, that you are more likely to pass a class than to fail a class. So, and that was about right in the middle. When we did a study 5 years ago, it was between 7 and 10 hours. So 8 hours is the magic number that you should be using tutoring, especially if you're going to be challenged by a course. Like math was not always my favorite class, um,
Right.
but yeah, so
That's really good to know. That's good I mean, so that we can share with all of our students too.
absolutely, yes. Hmm.
So, Darlene, who should the students contact if they're looking at applying to the program? They're going to, they're enrolling into the University of Montana. Who should they contact in order to apply?
Sure, they can contact anyone on our staff, but also if you go to www.umt.edu/trio, TRIOSSS, you will find our website there. And then if you go to the tab that says, Am I eligible? You'll find an application that you could just use to apply online, and then that gets to us and we follow up with you afterwards.
That is awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this. I'm going to comment this into our comment section
Yeah,
so
and I
that
can do that too.
so everybody can be
Yeah.
able to just see that, and so that anybody can follow along, and yeah, should be
Sure.
good to go.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, and so I mean, really, that kind of sums up a lot of the questions. You gave us a whole lot of information, some
Mhm.
really good information, some incredible services that your program has to offer. If anybody listening, whether you're watching this live or watching this later, please comment with questions. We can try to get those answered. Or as Darlene mentioned, you can always go to the Trio SSS website at umt.edu /trio SSS, and that way you'd be able to find some questions there, contact them, apply for the program. But yeah, I mean, and we are more than happy to answer any more questions that you might have.
I love
Uh,
questions. Remember, no question is a dumb question. So even everything from like what are the dorms like? What's the vibe on campus when you come to a college? Any of those types of things. How much does it cost?
yeah, all of the above.
Right. Yeah. hmm So maybe you, Derek, where did you go to college at?
I went to the University of Montana.
Oh, wow. And you
Yep.
didn't come to Trio?
So I didn't know that I was eligible for Trio, but
Yeah.
after joining uh, this program, the talent search program, I was like, whoa, I actually could have done that. What
Yeah.
the heck?
Yeah.
And now listening to you, I'm like, look at all these services I could have benefited from. Holy
Right.
cow!
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's not an unusual comment to hear from people. Is it somewhere it gets lost in translation? But I think in the last year, the new system that we have in place, we reach out to every potential student who could be eligible and give them the opportunity to participate in the program. Their student has nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And I quite often tell students that, and some of our most successful students that have utilized services will come back and tell us how happy they were with knowing that their college degrees were attributable to the services that they used while they were in college. So never be afraid to ask for help. That's what I would tell your students when you go to college or at any time. Just reach out. There are people, especially the Trio people, are the type of people who you can always go to and ask for support, because that's what we do here. We all love what we do. We love helping students succeed, and more importantly, when we see you with your diploma, that just makes us totally happy. So
yes,
yeah.
oh, completely agree. And we do have another question from Jeannie. I know we were discussing this earlier,
Okay.
uh, but where are you located on
Oh,
the UM campus?
that's a great question. Yeah, we are right now. We are located in the Emma Lamason building in the lower level. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be moving out, and we will be moving to Aber Hall over the Christmas break. So, if any of you are familiar with the University of Montana campus, we're located right now very close to the Grizzly Bear on the Oval, and Aber Hall is located kind of on the other end of the east side of the campus, and I believe it's a 7-story high building. We will be located on the 3rd floor of Aber Hall. And what will be new, in addition to having offices, is that we'll have a computer lab now for our students. So Trio students will be able to come in and use the computers and print for free, and we'll have a large screen TV that students will be able to watch webinars if they need to for a class. So we're excited and hopeful that that being in a new building will present some new opportunities for our students as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I was just thinking. I remember going into the Lamason Center because I was helping a friend apply to Trio actually, and brought them down. I showed him where it was and everything. Still, I didn't apply myself, but helped somebody else apply.
Yeah, why did you do Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and that happens more often than not, is that when someone starts using the services and then they just go, wow, this is just so helpful, and then they tell their friends, and then their friends find out they're eligible, and before you know it, we've got students, which is what we want.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, we have a huge thank you. I don't
Hey.
know. Uh, Thank you so much, Mooney Homeland. I don't know if that's an inside joke or not, but we
Yeah,
just appreciate your time that you spent with us, and
sure.
glad that yeah, glad that we can share some information with our students and with everybody that gets to watch this.
Yeah, great. I'm glad I was able to be here today too. And just to let you know, that is my alias name. It's actually a nickname that I've had for many years with my maiden name. So, but you can call me Darlene or Mooney, which is a nickname originally from Anaconda, Montana. So have
That's great.
it. We all have a nickname in Anaconda.
Oh, well, so cool. Well, thank you so much,
You bet.
and
Thank
we
you.
will we'll talk to you guys later.
Please come and see us. We'd love to have you on campus.